Hello there, my name is Manu, and today I'm here to talk about dreams. A subject that fascinates me thoroughly throughout the years in many different ways. I have felt that dreams have been part of me in a way that they give me a glimpse into a different way of looking at myself and the reality that we are inhabiting here. I have probably made a video about dreams before. I'm too lazy to check it out, but I decided to do a new one because I feel like I have some different things to say this time. And being completely transparent, I already made this video a week ago and I quite liked it. But because the video was so personal, I decided to not publish it, at least for now. And in the meantime I will do a different type of video on the same subject. Maybe a little bit less personal, but I know that I can't keep myself from talking about myself. That's the beauty and curse of being a human being. But anyways, at first I wanted to show you some drawings that I have made about my own dreams. I made these maybe 2 years ago during a time when a lot of my dreams were very meaningful, intense and unique. So I made these so I could remember them. Here is the first one. In this dream, I woke up in the middle of the night. And when I woke up, I wasn't myself. I couldn't feel my regular body. All I could feel was this intense, very vibrant prism of colors of rainbow that were swirling throughout my body, going from up to down. I was, in a way, just a vessel where the colors could inhabit. At first I was very scared because I couldn't feel my regular body, but after a minute I got used to it and then just went with the flow. Eventually I fell back asleep and it was over. And later my friend told me about this yogic meditation called rainbow meditation, where the yogis basically meditate themselves to death. And that inspired me to put this Sanskrit here. This drawing made with pastels, a white spirit came to me, showing me a painting. During this time I was very avid Hilma af Klint enthusiast, and because of that, my previous bias, I immediately felt that this is Hilma af Klint talking to me. And here is a painting that the spirit showed me. It was a red background with something that reminds me of a spoon in the middle. And the spirit told me that the name of this painting is Omplid Kur. I didn't know what to make of it, but when I woke up I remembered the name, so I immediately put it into Google Translate. And what the translator gave me was from Swedish to English about gentle cure, or of gentle care. And I very much vibed with that idea about being gentle, about getting better, basically. And this resonated with me because I was on my journey to becoming a better person and getting rid of my addictions and whatnot. And this dream reminded me of, okay, be gentle about it. Be gentle on the way how you confront yourself. That was basically my takeaway of this dream, plus the cool painting that I was shown. And I have still not done it, only in this metal level here. But I will probably do it as a big form painting at some point. And on a side note, how cool is it that you can see a unique painting in your dream and be inspired by it in your real life? This dream was very beautiful, poetic, symbolic, and sad. In this dream, I had a pet pig, and the pig had magical abilities. It could change color with the way the pig was feeling emotions. So the red was a more positive feeling and the blue was a negative feeling. And I don't know why, but in the dream the pig was taken from me. The new owners came and the pig turned sad, and they were walking on this valley here, and my eyes met up with the pig for one last time, and the pig immediately started to run towards me. It was already feeling blue, and then when it was running towards me it started to go more red. And then I woke up when we were about to meet. This totally reminded me of my poodle. This was a wild one, very biblical. This type of an angel came towards me, holding a sword. And I grabbed the sword that was given to me. And I remember thinking that what good can I make with a sword? Because the immediate associations to a sword is basically killing and violence. Well, when I was thinking about that, I noticed that there are chains around my hands. So, with a very performative motion, I swung the sword and the chains broke and this white light started to burst out of me. Now make what you will out of that one. And this was definitely one of the weirdest dreams. Me and my sister's ex were sitting on a couch and we were sobbing how my socks were wet. And then Rudy Giuliani, the disgraced lawyer, came to me and gave me a secret mission. And he came to me and whispered to my ear, "The vestal pendant of the Turkish army." And then I woke up. And that was so funny to me that I just had to make a note out of it on my phone to remember the pendant, the vestal pendant of the Turkish army. I have no clue what that was about, but maybe I will at some point. Maybe it was a prophecy. And now you know it too. You hear it first. So, as you can see, my dream life can be very varied and I would say interesting as a source of inspiration for music, art and also personal reflection. The dream world is very, very interesting in many, many different ways. And I don't really understand why we are not talking about dreams more, because almost every person on this planet is dreaming, and there is a function to it. It's not there just because. I don't know if the function is the right word, but basically they are a thing. It's an undisputed fact that dreams are real in a sense. But are the dreams real? And who is the narrator or who writes the dreams? There are many different theories on it, Jung being one of the most famous ones, and I've been reading Jung lately, a book called A Man and His Symbols. And in this book Jung is talking about dreams and how, well, there seems to be this collective consciousness where some of these archetypes are emerging from the archetypes that we see in dreams. For example, you're late from school, you're late from train, you're late from a very important meeting, and all of these seem to take a place, a scene that somehow relates to you or your life. But the feelings behind the dream are more universal, shared with the collective consciousness. The feeling of being late, the feeling of having no agency, the feeling that someone is making you do something and you don't want to do it. And Jung also said that because of the nature of dreams, we as a dreamer are the only people who are able to analyze our own dreams. And the dreams are basically your unconsciousness sharing truths or whatever it wants to your conscious self. So maybe it's things that we like to push away when we are awake, and then they come back during the dreams. And there are many other aspects to it as well. I have noticed that when I'm being more truthful with myself and with my values, I'm not keeping things hidden from my waking body and mind. During those moments, my dreams become more, they feel more like prophetic. And that basically aligns with the esoteric notion of human beings being a bowl, a channel to outside information, and the more we clean our bowl, the cleaner the reflection of the reality is through us as a vessel or a channel to information inside and outside of our body. Now there has been a dream that has reoccurred in my life multiple times. And honestly, it's a pretty jarring dream, a real nightmare. In this dream, I wake up in a place where I go to a scary house, basically. The house is sometimes a manor, sometimes it's a very haunted house type of thing, and sometimes it has been also my father's workplace. But in the dream I end up going to the haunted place, and it turns out to be like a nightmare, a place of nightmares. So I end up going through all these hallways, just trying to survive, being afraid of something that's there. I don't remember seeing any time that there was a monster there, but I could totally feel the presence of it. So a very classic type of a nightmare, being chased by something, or the place itself is very nightmarish, kind of like a cell. I have gotten that dream maybe once or twice a year for many years. But something changed 4 months ago. I remember there was a roommate living in my place at the same time, a lovely lady who stayed here for a month. In the dream, I woke up on the street and I saw this haunted house, and I knew that what was coming. Here we go again. I went to the house, and there was this secret entrance that I felt that I usually take to get in. But at the entrance, I just decided not to go in. something that I haven't done before. And that was basically kind of like a point to end scene. There was a movie like fade out and then fade in to this quite beautiful courtyard. And the courtyard was full of overgrowth. There were flowers and all kind of herbs and flora. And then I woke up. And when I woke up, I felt that this was something new. My first thought was that the courtyard that I was shown was basically the place of nightmares that I have usually visited. And now that I haven't been there, it started to get dilapidated and turn into something that's very beautiful in a way. All the moss and different type of flowers that were able to grow there because nobody has been there. And only later I felt that this dream has probably marked some type of a watershed moment in my life. I remember talking about this dream to my roommate, a friend now. I started to talk about my addictions, something that I don't do easily with new people who I have probably sometimes imagined that I need to hide some aspects of myself. And for some reason or another I have kind of like decided not to be fully upfront about myself just to not feel embarrassed or to create a better image out of myself in other people's eyes. All these things that we humans end up doing. Well, that day I was very transparent. And I talked about like my gambling addiction, how I have felt shame about it, and how it feels like a thing that feels impossible to fully have a control over. And the main gist of it was that how I have felt shame throughout my life about these things, about a multitude of things. And I remember her saying that there is no reason to be ashamed of it. And that was something very beautiful, a very poignant scene in my personal life. I kind of took it to heart at that moment, that there really isn't a reason to be ashamed of who I am and who I have been, all these past struggles and some struggles that I have still dealt with. And I started to think about the dream again, how there never is in this nightmare someone else putting me into this cell, a jail or a haunted house. It's always my own decision. And then, poof, I just decided to not go in. And in a way that's a very symbolic way of just showing me that I have the agency to not put myself through this hell. It is my choice, overall and after all. So that's what I did. After that moment, my life has been very different. I have forgotten battles. I don't feel like I'm in a battle with myself anymore. You don't notice it in a day or two, but after months of basically no problems with any addictions, I've started to think that, okay, now something has thoroughly changed in me. I have forgotten the battle. And it didn't go out with a bang, but with a whimper. So subtle that I didn't even notice it at first. And I know that this probably wouldn't have happened before. Now I was ready to make a change for good. You know, my life has been a battle like ups and downs, staying alive, but something changed. I'm using very strong language which might be triggering, but I understand. These are just words, and that I'm never fully aware of all of the things that are happening inside me or what the future will entail. There could be relapses, there could be things like that, but I've decided to not think about it too much because the moment that we are in feels precious right now. And I want to cherish that feeling of being in the moment for as much as I can. Maybe in the beginning I thought that this dream worked like magic, that because I was shown it, because of that I could make the change, or it did the change for me. But a more reasonable way to think about it is that the dream marked the change. A change that has happened gradually throughout these processes that I have been going through. Self-reflection, discovery, good streaks, and now I was at the end of this side quest and going back to the main line that I'm supposed to walk through this path that was given to me. So this was basically the reason why I wanted to make this video, because I wanted to talk about this dream and just say to you guys that I have actually been making good progress with my life. Just to share something positive. There are so many other aspects to dreaming that I would like to talk about, but I don't remember all of the things that I want to talk about, and we must save some for other videos as well. But one interesting thing is that I've been thinking about the reason why I am so invested in my own dream life. It has to do probably with my father. You see, my father is very reasonable and logical man in his own way. He believes in things that are concrete, things that he can see. But he has also had a tendency to see premonitions in his dreams. For example, he has seen dreams of his friends passing away, 3 of them, in different occasions, and then receiving the news the next day. And I have seen that happen. He has also seen different types of prophetic dreams. They feel prophetic to me, and for some reason, whenever he has told me a dream, I have taken it to heart. Usually I'm your regular child trying to do the opposite of what my father does and says. But when it comes to dreaming, I really believe him in a sense. And it's this dichotomy that has been part of my life that has probably made me more invested in dreams. And it's pretty funny that I haven't been wanting to take in information from my father when it has been kind of like his intention to make me learn stuff, teach me skills, give me information on how the world works. No, these are the things that I want to find out for myself, in my own way, in my own trousers. But when he starts to talk about something that usually people think is very illogical and very random, then I am interested in it. And when thinking about this from the Jungian perspective, my intuition has been pretty much on par with this Jungian idea of understanding dream work, on how there may be some truths in dreams that are more truth than the things that we think are true in our everyday life. Now I know that sounds very woo-woo, but I do think there is some truth to it. So I guess with this, I want to wish you very happy dreaming, and I would also be very interested in hearing your takes on your dreams. How do you find them? Do you see them as just random noise that's been worked in your brain from the previous day's activities, for example? Or do you see that there is something more hidden on the layers of dream world? Some more meaning to be found. See you in the next video.